We're going to discuss patterns and rituals that make up who you are. Have you ever noticed that you slip into routines that really work against you? Or can you think of a time when you got into a really positive pattern that was like a magic formula for you? Today, we want to make note of both negative and positive patterns. Then some action steps for how you can replace those negative patterns with positive ones. So let's get started. If you hover over or click on Add More, the drop down will show up. The first one down will be Patterns, so I'm going to go ahead and click that. Now that we're in the Patterns module, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add our first pattern, which is a negative one, to watch 3 hours of TV before bed. So that is obviously a negative pattern. So if I go to the right here, I'll see pattern status. I'm going to make sure that's checked as negative. The next step is to add an action step. So in this case, I want to replace that pattern with reading nightly instead of watching TV. In some cases, more than one action step is required, especially with really bad patterns. In this case, I'm just going to put one here. So I'll clear the inactive ones. So I have my description. It's a negative pattern, and I have an action step to replace it. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. Now, the negative pattern's there. And if we want to break that negative pattern, there's different strategies we can use. If we'd like, we can go ahead and we can set an email notification if we want that will allow us to get a notification before bedtime. So instead of watching TV, it will remind us to go read. So that's one of the strategies that we can use to break that negative pattern. So go ahead and put together your list and start working on those negative patterns and converting them into positive ones.